Okay, you can see by me showing you today's date on this phone here that it's 5/05/2015. My name is Leslie Williams at 1:25 p.m. And actually it's only 12:35 p.m. This phone right here, it's no longer being used, and so it's the service date ran out on it. The service date ran out on it before the daylight savings time kicked in. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna try and play a. I want you to listen to this. Okay, that's not working. Okay, sorry about that. Battery ran out. So, alright, I was gonna play something, but I can't do it now because the battery ran out. So, I apologize for that. Now, this video applies for the next 60 days. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm a target victim and activist concerning the crimes of what is known as gang stalking in La Jolla, California, which is in San Diego County. I don't have time in this particular video because of many reasons. I gotta save video time on my video card, and I'm behind schedule today. So what I'm gonna do is just prove to you that I'm being gang stalked by giving you the title of a blog. That blog is hacked though by the perpetrators, so there's a couple things in it that you might say right at the beginning too, that you might say this is crazy, and you might dismiss the blog. Don't do it. What you're going to look for in that blog is the typed text, all of my YouTube videos, and all blogs that are in the video, all my YouTube videos that are in the video, that are in the blog, and all typed text. Okay. Now, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm not sure if they hacked into it and have typed any text into it. I haven't looked into it in a few days. But anyways, just bear with me. Trust me, you'll understand this video as I continue to talk. Now, I showed you the video picture of today's date by showing you my phone. Now, excuse me. In the next 60 days, if I am arrested for IL, okay, or ticketed for same, okay, or am banned from the property that goes by a code notation called RC, Colony 5, no matter where I'm at on that property, in the next 60 days, it will be directly connected to gang stalking, no matter how it plays out physically and verbally, and no matter who's involved. Now, on that specific property, using that code notation RR Colony 5, I have dropped off property on that. I have dropped off my property on that property at several different spots. Okay, if on any date, including today's date, I go back to retrieve any property or drop property off, it will be directly, and if anything happens, like an assault, a robbery, homeless men or women camped out right by the property, if any property is stolen, if I'm arrested for any reason, if I'm evicted from the entire property by any law enforcement, it will be directly connected to gang stalking, no matter how it plays out. So go to that blog. That blog's title is UCSD and Law Library, Are They Networking Gang Stalking? When you look at this blog, especially the YouTube videos and the blogs within the blog, and then research what the YouTube videos are exposing, okay, and what the blogs are exposing that are within the blog, you'll clearly be able to see in your face, indisputably in your lap, undeniably black and white, that I'm being gang stalked along all my routes, because the evidence in it is indisputable. Indisputable. So, research what's in that blog, and then you can walk away with saying, it's a known fact she's being gang stalked everywhere she goes, so do you really honestly think that I'm not being gang stalked in my HA areas? Okay, which I know my hiking areas. So, then go to Google and type in gang stalking and police, and I'm talking about any law enforcement. It doesn't matter, RP workers, that's a code notation, San Diego Police, San Diego Sheriff's Department, it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter who acts as a buffer between me and them. A neighbor calling the police because they saw me or heard me coming in, going out, saw me going in, coming out, saw me there, saw my property. Okay, because they will they will use anybody to be a buffer between the target and the police, even children. Go to Google right now and type in children and gang stalking, teenagers and gang stalking, neighbors and gang stalking. In fact, go to YouTube and type in gang stalking bullying on steroids and look at what they're doing to that guy. He clearly talks about how he's gang stalked along all of his routes. He says he can't go anywhere and enjoy even playing ping pong without being bothered, and at his home. Okay? The only way that this can be achieved is through the illegal covert tracking of the target, including even using a target's cell phone as a GPS tracker, so they can then prop up and place the individuals to be along the target's route. Okay? Like, I'm stationary right now, which means that my location can be vectored right down to the foot. Okay? When I get up and leave any spot that I'm at, they can see that the phone is mobile. Now, especially if they've learned to target individuals' regular routes and routines, okay, they can clearly deduce if I leave here and make a right when I get to the exit that I'm probably headed towards a certain way. And then prop up the dummies that they're going to use for today for anything, an assault. Using them as a person to say I saw her coming and going from a place where I'm going to get property at, and for the whole time duration while I'm there. And then leaving. Okay, staged assaults. Okay, and the people that they use can be used to call the police. So we can, if we break this down by explaining it, as a result, I'm deconstructing it, and then what you got to do is then go back and say, okay, well, this is how it operates. If it happens after I predict it, then it's obviously going on. I've been assaulted 5 times. All 5 assaults were predicted. To give you just a taste of that, go to YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Brutally Assaulted on an MTS Bus." Look in the description of that YouTube video. There's at least 2 blogs and some text. Scroll down towards the bottom. There's a blog on the bottom. Click on it. Okay, once you click on it, the blog will open up. Read the blog and then scroll down towards the bottom of the blog, and you'll see an attached PDF link titled Assault 11. Click on that, and what that is a printed out scanned email that I made on September 29, 2011, literally showing me not only predicting that I'd be assaulted, but where it would happen at. And also attached in the same PDF link is documentation from MTS showing them acknowledging the assault took place on October 10th. Then go to Google and YouTube and type in "Learning Disabled Woman Exposes How MTS Assault Videos Altered." Absolutely. That's one of 5 assaults that I predicted. Let's see. 1 was predicted in video. I think 2 were predicted in email files. All 5 in audio files. Okay? That's right. That's right. Now, when you look at the evidence that's in that blog that I've already described the title of, you'll indisputably deduce that I'm being gang stalked, even with just common sense. So then ask yourself, why won't the San Diego Police make a police report? Why won't the San Diego Sheriff's Department make a police report? Because what they're doing is buying time in order to be able to allow the continued expedition to go on, so the tactics and methods can be continually used until they bring about the effects that they want to bring about, which is the criminal motivation of why I'm being gang stalked. Illegal syndicated probate control for racketeering, insurance fraud, and human trafficking inside a syndicated run group home or inside of a syndicated run detention center, privately owned prison, or even a county jail. Okay, because they make money off inmates, whether you know it or not, they do. It's called the prison industrial complex. Absolutely. And human trafficking does occur in jails and detention centers as well. Fellow American citizens, my name is Leslie Williams. I'm a target victim and activist. Hold on. Concerning the crimes of gang stalking. Okay? And I apologize for the way I look. But if you knew how I got to live as a result of being a victim of this crime, you just would not believe what is happening to us targets. We're made homeless, we're assaulted, we're even raped, we're robbed. They infiltrate even our bank accounts. They infiltrate our mail, Google gang stalking, and postal workers, mail theft and mail delayment. Okay? You would not believe what they're doing to me. And it's all achieved through, but not limited to, tracking, stalking, observation, okay, in order to bring about these staged events. In closing, because I gotta go, think about it this way. When you look at how all the same exact identical verbal harassment that has been said and caught along all my routes, over 1,000 audio files, and some of those audio files, at least 50 to 75 are in that blog, okay, when you witness it, okay, then you can easily deduce to yourself that the only way they can prop up the same exact identical verbal harassment that I'm experiencing and my tape recorder is catching on a daily basis, okay, it was caught yesterday. It was caught yesterday, again, okay, on this tape recorder. Now think about it. The only way the same exact identical to a T peculiar gang stalking verbal harassment that's being caught on over 1,000 audio files by now, happening every day everywhere I go, even new places I go to, the only way that could occur is through the tracking of me. So if they're doing this along all my routes, which clearly shows it in a blog, and what's in the blog is not even 0.001% of the evidence I got. And look at the amount of evidence that's in it. So when you see how that verbal harassment is identical everywhere I go, every single day, non-stop, audio files, video files to prove it, and every single bit of that evidence, 99.8% of all my evidence was predicted before it was caught. And the predictions occurred in separate environments in reference to where the evidence was caught, which shows that I was stalked from the areas the predictions were made, at my HA areas, and then the evidence was caught at places I went to, stalking from one place to another. That's a crime, especially when it happens on more than one occasion. So, when you witness just what's in this blog alone, okay, you'll be able to clearly see I'm being tracked from place to place to place to place. So do you honestly think I'm not being tracked in my hiking areas? Or where I go set property off at? Including them propping up, let me set down, I gotta set this down for a second so I can put this back in where it goes. Including them propping up homeless people to camp out right by where my property's dropped off at, to intimidate me about either not going to get it, okay, them stealing it and literally having it in their physical possession while I'm approaching them so I can see that they got it in order to provoke an event, so the police can be called, so the police can say, well, what are you doing here to begin with? Why are you dropping property off? These are the schemes of gang stalking. You might say, well, how did they know I dropped the property off? GPS tracking on my cell phone. Put it to you this way. If I'm walking down a road, they can see I'm mobile because my position is being vectored. And since I'm walking, my position is moving. If I then go to a place and sit there for 45 minutes to 2 hours, 3 hours, they can see how long I'm there. Now, they created the homelessness of me, okay, through mail theft and mail delayment, a postal worker. That's right, they stole my rent that was mail certified mail return receipt. The only person that can do that is a postal worker. So, when I leave here and go to a spot to go get property, the property that was taken there, they already vectored that location in reference to how long, where I stopped at, how long I was there in reference to dropping it off, doing what I need to do to camouflage it, okay, and then leaving. They then wait till I leave, go back and say, okay, well, she's got property here. She's going to eventually come back and get it. Through the continued tracking, what they then do is see where I'm headed, deduce, well, why is she going there? She's not living there anymore, but they know I got property there. So then what they'll do is through the tracking of me, they'll either prop up people to arrive after I arrive or have people already be there. They've already done it at one location. Absolutely. So that's one of the reasons why I prop property up at different spots. I also do it in order to prove, because since I make predictions, if they keep doing this or events keep happening or a mixture of both at these spots, after I predict it, which I'm doing right now, it'll literally show that I'm being tracked from place to place to place, which it doesn't matter anyways, because everything that's in that blog, which is only 0.001% of the evidence I got, clearly shows I'm being gang stalked from place to place to place, because the verbal harassment is identical to a T, and it's peculiar. And what I mean by peculiar, I'm going to literally explain to you in part what the verbal harassment is. In order to let me know that I'm being gang stalked, what they're literally doing is propping up people along my routes every day and having them repeat, gang stalk, crazy, gang stalk, weird, gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk, suck my dick. Now, in the past week, ever since I've been looking up lawyers again on the internet, which cybersurveillance is a method of gang stalking, so they see I'm doing it, if I have any real recent evidence of it, that will completely look obvious. Hang on. So for the past week, instead of them doing it 100% of the time along all my routes, they're only doing it about 30%. But guess what they went back to do? They went back to doing the gang stalking physical gestures that is intended for me to see. So go to Google and YouTube and type in gang stalking and sensitization methods, and then go to Google and learn what that is, and then go back to Google and YouTube and type in gang stalking, repeating words and words and phrases, gang stalking, repeating physical gestures. And you'll see in that blog that I caught many different people admitting to my face and hidden running tape recorders that they were put in my physical presence to engage in these physical gestures as well. You'll also see videos of audio files that I transferred to video showing these words and phrases which are identical being repeated everywhere I go. Okay, so one of the best YouTube channels to go to see recent evidence are 3 of them. Exposing Police 1, Exposing San Diego, and Exposing SDPD 3. Okay, there's also Exposing SDPD 1, Exposing SDPD 2, Gang Stalking Activists, Assault MTS. Okay, I had to try and play a shell game with them with my YouTube accounts because they were hacking into them. I eventually stopped changing YouTube accounts. Anyway, so this video, in fact, this video applies for the next 90 days, but especially in the next 45. And today's date is May 5th, 2015. I'm getting ready to leave now to go to an area. And I'm going to be bebopping back and forth to these areas in a huge way in the next 2 weeks because I had to move. Okay? Now, so if I'm evicted, permanently banned from using RR Colony 5 property, you better believe I'll expose it. If I'm arrested for IL, you better believe I'll expose it once I get out of jail. Okay? If I'm assaulted, robbed, raped, if any of my property is stolen, including property I carry with me, property that I leave at any area, I don't give 2 shits what law enforcement says. You know what law enforcement's doing? They're saying, well, you're not supposed to be camping. Well, why don't you investigate the gang stalking of me that created the homelessness of me, and then investigate the gang stalking of me along all my routes, which has even been caught inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters. Huh. Why don't you investigate that, and then I wouldn't be camping? What they're doing is buying wiggle room until they can achieve the objective. Okay? So you'll understand what the objective is in its entirety by going into my YouTube accounts and looking at all the different videos. And the blog as well. Because there's videos online that I posted concerning showing me elaborate on the with details concerning what the criminal motivation is and why the homelessness was created to begin with. It was created to exploit at the end of the day, and the only way that they can exploit is to keep the homelessness active. Okay, that's right. And now they know I got all this evidence and preparing to go to lawyers. Every single time I've looked up on the internet to prepare to go to lawyers, guess what's happened? I've been arrested or ticketed or forced to move. Absolutely. Every single time. Every single time. Alright, I gotta go. I'm in San Diego, California, because cyber surveillance is a method of gang stalking, so they can see that I'm looking up lawyers. They know I got all this audio evidence because there's individuals in the system that's propping up all the harassment I endure. Alright, I gotta go. This video literally applies for the next 90 days, but especially for the next 45, and then especially in the next 2 weeks from this second forward. And remember that time on that phone that I used at the beginning is an hour off because it stopped. It's no longer in service, and when it fell out of service, it was daylight saving. It was not daylight savings time, which means that it was an hour ahead. Right now we're in daylight savings time, so right now the time is exactly 12. I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see my watch. It's 12:54 p.m. Okay, on today's date, May 5th, 2015. If anything happens concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, against me, at any spot that I go to retrieve property or any of my camping areas, which all I'm doing now is not even putting my tent up until almost 8 o'clock at night, getting in it, going to bed within 2 or 3 hours, waking up, and immediately taking the tent down. Okay, and leaving the area. And the only reason why I haven't, well, I ain't gonna say anymore. Alright, but I gotta go because I got stuff to do. Thanks for listening, everybody. Please say a prayer for my protection. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I don't even drink. Alright, but I gotta go because I got stuff to do and I'm already behind schedule. Thanks for listening and have a nice day. Oh, and this video probably might not even be uploaded for maybe even a week, so it still applies because that's why I showed the video picture of my phone. Alright, I gotta go. Thank you. Bye.